Hey, we are going to start. Put something on my lips. Looking for my Carmex. Hey, C. Michael. C. Michaels Jr. Hi, how you doing? I'm gonna try to look up instead of looking down a lot, which is what I do a lot. Hey guys, thanks for joining. Oh my God, everybody's joining. Hey, I got S. Hein Michaels 29, and I saw somebody else join too. I'm addicted to Carmex. So we're doing what stops you from writing. Hey, Miss Beautiful Natasha. Hi. How you doing? Put the website up for your project. I want everybody to go visit and give you money for your wonderful project that you're doing. We're going to get going because I want this to be a quick scope. I usually say that at the beginning, but it never is a quick scope. But we're going to be talking about what stops you from writing. Now, I'm introducing myself. My name is Sylvia Hubbard. Oh, yeah, there it is, mybeautifulthought.net. Make sure you go there and check out Natasha's wonderful works in the community, her poetry, and, oh, that wasn't it. Okay, let's see what it is. Her poetry and all her projects and donate to everything that she's doing. Mybeautifulthoughts.net. Yes, make sure you guys check that out. This is going to be on the permanent scope that's going to go on YouTube. And you guys really must go to her website. She's awesome for Detroit, and she's just awesome all the time. So make sure you check her out and support her endeavors. So let me introduce myself. I am Sylvia Hubbard. Thank you for the hearts. Yay! I'm Sylvia Hubbard, and I am romance suspense author and founder of Motown Writers Network, which is an organization that helps writers to their literary goals, and we connect readers to Michigan authors. That is my pitch. That's my 30-second spiel of who I am. Um, I call myself an informational authorpreneur, and I love to help authors really try to figure out ways that they can make things work for it. So while we're getting set up and getting going, getting your pencils and your papers, make sure you invite everybody from your Twitter. Make sure you invite everybody to from your list, so then they can come in and share this valuable information about what stops you from writing. I think that's one of the biggest things that I have. I've been in the network of writers literally since 2000, 16 years. And in that time, I've produced over 37 books. This year, just 4 alone are going to be produced. 4 more are going to be produced. I'm trying to get comfortable. And in that space and time, people always wonder because, I have 3 kids. I'm a single family household. I'm a single parent. I work 40 hours as well because we have braces to pay for, glasses to pay for, and everything. I call it my benefit job. But still, I have to make time for writing. So every excuse that you've already thought of, I've thought of a solution around it. Sometimes it's my own wacky solution, but other times it's just time saving, getting rid of writer's block, which I don't believe in, just getting rid of the doubts, which kept me back a long time, and just finding inspiration, whether in myself or with others. So this is going to be, like I said, the scope where I give you the key and the trick, and we're going to try to help you out. So if you have questions, pop them up or let me know, like, what is your problem? What stops you from writing? Whether it's your first book, whether it's the next book, whether you started it, haven't finished it, 25%, 75%, and you just can't get through there. What has been your problems with writing? Write it in the comments. Show me now if you're on the replay. And we can still hit that up and we'll just go in and say, hey, we can figure this out. Because I think everybody, if you have a book in you, you should sit down, glue your butt to the seat, and just do it. You should do it because you've been given a message. You've been given a mess in your life that you want to make a message. Whatever it is, you want to get it out there. And everyone should have that chance to do it. So this is the scope to do it. This is the YouTube to do it. We want to hear from you. And you guys, if you like what I'm saying, give me the hearts. I love the hearts. That just makes me feel like, hey, kind of like in church when you give, like, you know, throwing up dollars for the preacher on the stage or something. You can just let me know I'm saying something really nice. Like, oh my gosh, that was great. So we're gonna get started. Like I said, like the replay is going to be on YouTube if you guys missed it, so you guys can still share. Hey, Joy! Woo! I do have to contact you. I do have to we have to sit and talk. So I need to call you or email me if you have my email, or message me on Facebook, Joy, if you can't, because I do need to talk to you. Thanks for joining us, though. So we're gonna get started. Actually, got started. Everybody had time to get their pen and paper out, because that's just important. I always say that when people ask me a question or I'm about to answer a question, get your pen and paper out and let's take notes, okay? So, like I said, we're going to start with time management. That has been like the biggest thing that writers complain about is time management. And a lot of people ask me, do I sleep? That's been another question everybody always asks, do I sleep? I do sleep. In 4-hour intervals, twice a day, actually. No, well, really it's 4 hours, then 2 hours, and 2 hours. I actually have to sleep in intervals. I can't sleep straight in a set like other people. I can't do 8 hours. I haven't mastered that. I feel like I oh my gosh. Yeah. So that's how I do, but don't do what I do. What you're actually going to do is you're going to get yourself a little small notebook that you can carry around with you. Like literally a small notebook, a moleskin, anything that you can carry around with you. And the reason why I say a notebook and a pen, because you want to have that already with you. Hey, Michael, we got to see you. You know, your new wife is keeping you away from us. So, yeah, you got to come in and check us so we can see if, you know, you're still there. But I say carry around a notebook and a pen is because not only will you use this to manage your time, but for other things that are coming up. Hey, so that I'm going to talk about. So I want you to carry a notebook. So in the first part of your notebook, you know, you can take a little post-it note and section this part out. And this is your time manager tracker. You're actually, number one, going to track your time. This is like, before you even start managing your time, you need to find out where are you, number one, wasting time at. Number two, where can you find time? And number three, and find out what is a good time for you to write. When do you feel that urge where, oh my gosh, this is where I'm getting a lot of inspiration. This is where I feel like I can write. I'm trying to adjust because I'm getting a little bit uncomfortable. So, the shower, right? But you can't write it. Well, now if you got this Samsung 7, you could probably, you could almost write in there. You could almost start writing in there. And I know that's probably bad, you know, in that regard. Yeah, because they actually came out with an article just the other day. I love reading everything. They actually came out with an article that talked about how when you take showers or baths or be in water, how it just like releases endorphins to get you going, to re-energize you. And a lot of people come up with their greatest ideas when they're in the shower or in the bath. I actually read an article seriously the other day. So, I mean, you're not far from the truth. You're really not that far from the truth. So, hey, Latanya Jones. Hey. So, we only did number one. Number one is track your time. You want to find time wasters. You want to find where's a good time for you to write, and you want to find your inspiration or where you get that most powerful moment. You know, it could be like right after you get out the shower, you know, get down and start writing down in your journal about, you know, what you thought about or the good ideas you came up with. So, number one, once you start tracking your time, you want to start setting goals. Hey, El Twizzle. You know, number two is set goals. If you missed anything, check out the replay, and this is also going to be uploaded at YouTube probably in a couple of days. So set goals, number two. Set goals of exactly what are you trying to accomplish. Everyone, like a lot of authors will come to me and say, well, I have like 6 or 7 stories I want to write, or I never have time to sit down and write it. Well, find out which story, number one, is the one you want to come out with, you want to finish. Find the one you want to finish, number one. Number two, then go down the list of, okay, then I'll start this one, I'll start this one. And then that way, when you're going to we're going to talk about research in a few minutes, but when you're going into your research, you exactly know, okay, while you're doing your research, you can actually be doing a double duty of, okay, I'm looking this stuff up for my first story I plan on writing, but oh my God, I came across this. Right, yes, two, set, thank you. Set and stay, course of your goals. Working on this. Very good. Thank you. That sounds so good to hear because you know how I've been pressuring you to like do it, do it, do it, do it. So, number three, set aside time just for research. Whether you're a fiction author, whether you're a nonfiction author, even if you're writing your biography, set time for research of what you want to write, how you want to write it, the things you need to write about. A lot of times in my books, my characters have a job, and I literally have to go find out how to do this job. The story I'm working on for Beautiful, she's a genoscientist, so she actually dissects DNA from plants in order to incorporate the good and bad parts. He's kind of like a Jurassic Park scientist for plants, current plants and stuff. So she's trying to figure out the DNA to make plants work better. And I actually have to incorporate her job into the story. So I have to understand, how does she do her job? I am not a scientist, but I'm learning how to become one. Literally, you can find this information out on the internet of how to become a genome scientist. So in her research and in her reports, it's like I am learning how to become this, and I'm learning other stuff as well that's going to work for other stories. So it's kind of like I am doing double duty. When I go out and do the research and I come across stuff, I have files where I literally have saved links of other research ideas, story ideas, and I have it all packed into my Google Cloud so I can get to it like just right away. Use research times. Like I said, you're on a double duty. Hey, Miss Stephanie, you want to use your research time as double duty, and you also want to like research when you're researching time, even if it's a bio, you're trying to go back and figure out, okay, the timeline of what happened to me. You're doing all that research and everything. If things pop up, say like a smaller story pops up and you can do research on that, then go ahead. As long as you're just going along with the flow, use time. Save time when you're doing this research, because it does take a lot of time to do it, especially if you're a fiction author and you want to stay true to your game. And readers are looking at your story in doubt already. You're coming in with a lie and getting them to believe the lie. You want to stay true to your game when you're writing that lie. So yeah, make sure you're doing double duty and really researching everything that you're doing. Make use of waiting rooms. I cannot tell you as a mother how I am always waiting on something, waiting on someone, waiting on something to happen, especially with my kids. Currently, thank goodness now, I only have one child. We really have after school activities, but still she's in a lot of them, to enough note that, yeah, with gymnasium and with gymnastics and archery, just alone, like we're waiting on things. So a lot of times I'm having not only my notebook and my pen. Oh, and I got this great one. Oh my God, you guys got to check out this N2 pen, and I'll have it in the post for this site. It's called the N2 pen, and it actually will, when I write down what I write in my notebook, it actually can write down on my cell phone to keep that page, and it can transcribe. So that's what I use, the N2 pen, the Neo 2 pen. You can look it up on Amazon, and I can actually email pages to myself to keep that just in case I lose that notebook. When I also take my tablet with me or my Kindle and turn the keyboard around, and immediately I can start typing stuff into my Google Drive or my docs and stuff that I have, so I can add on to stories. I can do re-edits of stories. So I'm constantly making use of waiting room times. If I'm sitting in the car, literally I have somewhere in my car I can plug up my laptop, take it out, and start writing. I've made my life surrounded by ways to save time and use every piece of time effectively. Unfortunately, the guy decides to lawnmower around my place. He does this every time. Every time. So let me know if you guys can hear me, or is that distracting? Because I don't want you guys to miss anything. I know. Just every time I decide I want to do something, sleep, do something, it just decides to lawnmower around the house. Okay. So like waiting rooms, any other time wasters where you're picking up the kids or picking up somebody, or you have a daily schedule. Where I work at, I have a full-time job. We actually wait between cars, wait between calls. So between those calls, I'm putting my pen to paper and I'm writing stories. Or I'm reading articles, or I have research. I have like to be read articles all the time on my phone, or I have to be watched videos to learn more new stuff. I mean, when Facebook started letting me save links, I know they're gonna one day say, okay, you have just too many links saved, because constantly I'm like, okay, I can't read this right now in social media. I need to come back and read it again. And that's what I basically do, is like I go back and do my saved links and just go back and read those articles. I'm constantly researching, constantly finding out knowledge, especially for social media, writing, publishing. I want to stay abreast of everything, so then I can, of course, inform you guys about what's going on, without you doing all the work. So I can help with your time wasting just by following me and listening to what I say. Send yourself emails. I know this sounds crazy because you're like, okay, I have enough emails. Literally, like what I do is I keep track of things by, or making sure that I do things. Say that I'm out and about, and say a client says, hey, can we meet on such and such date? I don't have my calendar with me. I was literally go on my phone and send myself an email on my text messenger to make sure when I'm checking my emails later on, I can check that out later and make sure I add it to my calendar. That saves me so much time in trying to figure out, okay, let me get my calendar out, let me do this, let me do that. I can literally, when I'm going through my emails and sorting through them, I say, oh, okay, I can add this to my calendar. I usually literally use my email time space and I talked about last week about batching product together, where you can just basically take like a whole bunch of your workload and batch them together, whether it's when you're in your email, go ahead and sort your stuff out for your newsletter. Go ahead and sort yourself out for responses back. Go ahead and sort your calendar items and so forth, because you want to make sure that you're saving time and not just, okay, I got to come back to my email later on. I get probably about 100 to 200 emails a day that are important that I have to address. So when I'm going in my email, literally, I'm going down that line of, okay, whatever the subject line is. If it's something I have to do with Motown, it goes over here. If it has something to do with howtoebook.org, it goes over there. If something I have to do with my literary world, it goes over there. I'm batching everything out when you do your emails, and that's how you really save time. So I've stopped counting, but we're actually on number 10, which I'm going to slow it down and say, you feel like things are overwhelming you. You feel like you can't get things done. I mean, literally just take a break. I call them brain breaks, literally. And I've learned how to do this after, having a fire and everything. I learned that you can't do everything, but you can do something sometimes. So you want to literally take breaks when you feel overwhelmed, because trying to manage your time when you're stressed is not good at all. Doing a 24-hour break, or my mom used to say, just take a nap. Like, you feel like you're stressed, just go take a nap, because it's still going to be there when you wake up. So take a nap, get through it, get rested, and then when you wake up, you feel better, you kind of have a good idea. Take a shower, get your mind going, and then you can basically see where you need to go, in especially when taking a break. Number 11 is eat right and take supplements. And as writers, we like to jam things in our mouth all the time. We like to grab what's ever available, so we can get back to the typewriter. I've learned that unhealthy eating is not very good for anyone. And for writers, we do need that nutritional supplement. I've noticed a lot of female writers, even now, are suffering from like even anemia and like just eating things like pineapples or adding green to our diet. Hey, just starting with the smoothies instead of just shoving things in your mouth is great. Eat right. Try to get up and exercise. Try to get moving around. And then you're not like, well, this doesn't work with my time. This is, I want to write more. But if you're sick, you can't write anything, right? So you want to make sure you're eating right, taking your supplements, trying to get a little bit of exercise in, even if you're just doing the exercises under the chair or in the chair while you're writing. Please do something. But yeah, definitely make sure you're eating right and taking supplements, because if you're sick, you just literally can't write anyway. So you might as well just take care of yourself and eat the things you're supposed to eat, and not just jam a Coke down your throat. Get something nutritional, drink more water. Just have those little eat right things, and use your journal as a way to keep track of like things that you eat that are not good for you. That's very, very important. Okay, so another thing you should also learn is be flexible. Keep your writing time flexible. Yes, you figured out when a great time it is to write. It's always like, you can say, hey, 1 p.m., I feel the burn. I feel like I can write all day. I get this inspiration and I'm going. But at 1 p.m., I'm stuck in a doctor's office with my kid and things are running over and I can't write at my writing time. Understand that things happen, life happens. Be flexible and be able to take that energy and pour it into something that you're waiting in a waiting room, waiting for the doctor to finish. Hey, use that time to research. Use that time to write something down in your notepad, your handy dandy notebook. Or, have your Kindle out or your tablet out so you can go and start writing in there. Always have it charged and always have it ready. I always say that. Okay, so then once you track your time, once you understand where your creativity lies, once you understand what you want to write and what you want to concentrate on, because that's really important. That's where people lose it with, because they never know what to concentrate on. When I say literally take all the ideas and do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however many ideas you have, because you want to be able, I can give you, for instance, last night, so I'm working on 2 books at one time, okay? So I'm working on Beautiful right now, which is the live story going on my website. Those characters are swimming in my head, and I'm typing literally them up out of my outline that I had made. I hadn't written my outline, and now I'm typing it up. On the other side of my brain, I'm actually handwriting another story, which is 3 Ways to Bliss. That's the next live story. I'm getting that prepared to get going so I can have it done by the time I finish up Beautiful. So you can imagine I got 2 stories going on, and I have 2 worlds that are happening separate from each other. So once I know what's important, I know what I need to do. So I'm actually 3 chapters ahead in Beautiful for the readers, because we're reading it live. Last night, I actually had to come to a decision. Hey, I got an extra hour. I don't have anything to do. I need to write. So I knew that I was 3 chapters ahead. I know what I need to write, so I can start working on 3 Ways to Bliss, and that way I can switch off Beautiful and go to 3 Ways to Bliss. Due to the fact that I keep track of what I need to write. Literally, I still write things down. Even though I'm telling you this as a beginner, as a master of it, I still write things down. So I kind of know where I need to be in my head and what I need to keep track of, and that helps me save time. For that hour, I just hand wrote, and I did about 5 handwritten pages, because I knew exactly what I needed to write. I knew exactly what scene I was on, and I could just keep it going, and that momentum kind of helped me to power up my writing and get a lot more done. So that's kind of cool. I got through that, and that's really awesome when I can get through and put a brand new story on paper. I love that. I love seeing when I do that. So learn when to say no. These are outside factors. And you know the outside factors I'm talking about. Learn when to say no, especially for people who are not bringing anything positive into your life or into your writing world. Learn when to tell them, I can't do it. I can't go there. I can't do this. If it's not being proactive towards your writing, if this is important to you, and it is important to me, but if you want to make it important to you, you need to tell these people no. Yeah, you should go to this baby shower, but sometimes you can just send a gift. Yeah, you can go shopping with a friend who needs help, but sometimes you can send your child that can help them out, which I have done literally. Like my friend, my best friend, she wanted to go out and pass out flyers, and she was like, "Sylvia, I need you to come with me. I need you to come pass these flyers out." And I'm sitting there like, I really don't want to pass flyers out. I would like to write. And I told her this too, so it's not like she don't know. So if y'all know my best friend, and y'all be like, Sylvia told on you, told on herself. I literally called my son up and told him, yeah, you still on punishment, so you need to go out with your auntie and help her pass out flyers just so I could sit at home and write. I managed that time very well. He wasn't doing anything, but he was on his PlayStation anyway, so it didn't matter. Find but most importantly, for time management, especially if you're just trying to inch out, like, where did my day go? Well, I had 24 hours and I started off with a couple of free hours that I could write. That means you need to really start writing down your time wasters. You really need to find out where exactly in your day you wasted too much time doing something you shouldn't have been doing, or how you could have managed that time better. Every second to me counts. Everything I've learned, just to break things down and say, okay, this is a minute and something. This is 2 minutes. This is everything. Everything in my house take 2 minutes or 2 seconds, literally. I tell the kids, if you want to clean your room, it just take 2 seconds. They think I'm crazy, but that's the kind of thing where I'm telling them, don't look at the day as 24 hours. Don't look at it as 60 minutes in that hour. Look at it in seconds. You can do things in seconds, and you actually end up seeing a lot more time. Hey, I want to come over and try that salted caramel so bad too. Apples. Oh my god, I just want to come over and try it so bad. But once you start really, good morning. Once you really start seeing where you have lost time at, where you need to apply more time at, and what you really need to concentrate on, you will find that you can find a lot of time in the day, a lot of seconds in the day. I mean, literally, where you can just start managing it better and doing a lot more with it. I am an example of it, trust me. Now, there are some things that, like I said, you have to be flexible, that can go to waste. You can say, hey, I can do that tomorrow, and you'll put it on your to-do schedule of tomorrow, and, but, like, once you really start writing it down and seeing where everything is, you can really start applying your time a lot better. So the next thing is, and like I said, if you guys have questions about how to help you manage your time, just go ahead and type it in below as well. I'm gonna make sure I have other links and resources, of course, in this post or at howtoebook.org. I'm gonna take a break before we go to the next one, the Writer's Doubt. My name is Sylvia Hubbard. If you're just joining us, I am author and founder of Motown Writers Network, and today we are talking about what stops you from writing, because that's been like a big thing with authors. Like, they have so many excuses as to what stops them from writing, and we are going to address that today. If you have your own excuse, we would love to hear it and see how we can help you out. So the number one enemy for writers in time and stopping you from writing is doubt. That's pretty much almost for everything in life, but that self doubt of, am I gonna write well enough? Am I going to do well enough or bring it to my readers good enough for me to actually write a full book? Um, I just did a self-publishing workshop for a nonprofit last night, and that was it. That was a lot of times people were saying, "Well, what if people don't like it?" You're not. No, everybody is not going to like what you write. I'm going to be honest with that. You can't please everybody. Everybody got their own cup of tea, right? So know that what you write, you're giving a message. Even for fiction writers, you're giving a message out to somebody. You're helping somebody to see the world in either a different way or learn from your lessons in life. So the doubt that you have really shouldn't be doubt. I mean, you were given a story or you were given a message, especially people who say they write Christian books. There should be absolutely no doubt in your mind. If you were given a message by God to write a book, write the book. Stop being Jonah in a well. Just write the book, because you're going to end up at the same place saying, I should have wrote the book. I should have wrote the book. This is what I should have did. I should have just wrote the book. Go write the book, okay? So doubt is one of the number one enemies for writers, and it keeps us from our purpose. Now, people think that in my world, in my opinion, God does not fix problems. He's already put all the solutions to every problem that we're ever going to have in life already inside of us. He's already given us the solution to that problem. He's worked us in a way that we are able to fix our own problems. What he does is get you to your purpose. So you got to work out the problems in order to get to the purpose that God has put in front of you. So work the problem. Always work the problem in your life. Once you work that problem, whether it's doubt, whether it's people in your way, time wasters, negativity, once you work those problems out, you can get to your purpose, which is what you are going to be gifted with. So, one solution for doubt is be aware of peer pressure. Now, I know you say, yeah, I'm grown, so I'm not in high school. I don't have peer pressure. You do. You have people around you saying, "Oh, you should have wrote the book by now. Oh, you should have did this by now. Thanks for inviting followers. Cool. Um, you should have did this," and they do the shoulda, woulda, coulda, and just start going in at you and trying to say, "Well, you should concentrate on this." When my kids were real young, people used to say, "Well, Sylvia, you have children to raise. You don't need to be writing books. You have this to do. You don't need to be writing books. You have this to do. You shouldn't be writing books. You should be concentrating on this." So it was a lot of peer pressure and, "Oh, well, if you start doing this, then you'll make more money and you don't have to write the books. Um, so it was a lot of peer pressure in order to make me stop doing what I wanted to do. So a lot of times I've learned, I don't know if it's because I'm a Virgo or it's because I'm Sylvia, I push people out of my life that do not bring anything positive into it. I learned that at an early age. I love my mama for telling me that it's okay to just stop talking to these people who are not bringing positivity into your life. So the peer pressure is a sort of a negative enemy towards you and in your mindset in trying to get you to get away from what you want to do. Writing is what I wanted to do. So in any time I felt like this person was not conducive to my writing, then yes, I had to get them out of my life. So yes, be aware of peer pressure, people who are bringing pressure upon you to either do something else or stop what you're doing. A lot of times we say, well, they're just being a friend. They're not being a friend. Friends encourage each other. Friends uplift each other. Friends don't take each other away from what we really want to do or what makes us happy. Friends don't do that. Now, they'll be honest and say, hey, maybe you should, hey, pay your bills before you sit down and write all weekend. But they won't just literally say, okay, you need to stop writing. And when you've told them that's what you want it to do. Number two, for getting rid of doubt, which is the number one enemy. Number two is get away totally from all negativity in your life. I mean, you you have enough going on inside of your head to have other outside forces coming in and telling you what you shoulda, woulda, coulda been doing. Get rid of all negativity. Now, if you have to be around that negativity, say, for instance, husbands, partners, even children, you need to teach them how to talk to you. So when my children would come and say, "Mom, you should have did this," or "Mom, I don't like when you do this," they actually, before they say a negative to me, they have to say a positive first, and then add a negative on the end of it. And I know that sounds crazy, but it actually works, as to, okay, maybe I'll pay attention to what you have to say if you follow it first with, give me dessert first before you make me eat the peas. That's kind of like my thing. And then on top of that, it teaches them, like, when they're talking to each other and they want to say something critical, or talking to a friend, say something positive first and then add on the negativity. And so then that way I can listen a little bit better, and I won't just be focused on, what I don't want to hear. And I've said this a lot to friends and stuff like that. And that's how, you want me to do something, don't come with me just with the problem. You better come with me with, like, a solution to the problem. If you point something out about myself. So, but yes, if other people are not contributing to, like, the positivity, or get away from, or bringing that, like my aunt used to say, bad juju around, you really need to get away from that. Get away from things that are negative, whether it's, it's sitting in front of the TV as soon as you come home. If that's a negativity in your life, that's taken away from things that you could be doing elsewhere and saving time, then maybe you should get away from TV. Seriously, and I know you say, "Oh, TV is my life," or "Scandal is my life," or whatever Shonda Rhimes write is my life. There's always Hulu or replay. You can always watch it later, but get what you need done in your life, because then that's a negativity when you could be writing. You're spending time doing something else, which is not benefiting you at all. So, number 3, accept that sometimes you are going to fail, that things are not going to work out, and your plan to write, or that plan to research, or that plan to do something, it's going to it's going to fall through the cracks, or just fall away and not work at all. Accept that you're going to fail. Don't, and they often say, don't use that time to worry, because you waste away today worrying about, "Oh my gosh, this is going to fail," or it's failing, when you can be using that time to plan for, okay, making it better or fixing the problem. Things happen. I usually say my middle name is Murphy's Law. If it can happen, it will happen. If I'm going out and I'm planning on going out, having a good time, something will happen to prevent me from going out. I'm always ready for it. I'm always ready for it to fail. And then when it goes well, I'm like, "Oh my God, it's actually happening." I'm always excited about that. It's actually happening, because I really expected it to fail. So, the last thing we want to talk about is inspiration. Everybody needs inspiration, even if you are already inspired, such as I am. I am always inspired. I have a natural uh, happiness about me, and that's probably because I keep away negativity and time wasters. um, but to get inspiration, and a lot of people do ask me that, is like, well, how do I inspire myself to, want to do it after a long day's work? I'm exhausted. And yes, I agree. I am exhausted too. You would not know that I have now been up for 9, no, going on 16 hours now. I have been up for literally 16 hours. I think I took like about 3 20-minute naps in that 16 hours. So you would not know that. But I have, and that's because I knew I had to do a Periscope today. So that inspired me to be like, "Oh my gosh, I got to do this Periscope." and I gotta like show people how I save time and I don't waste time and things like that. So, how do you find that inspiration when you don't have it? Which is a big question I've been asked. Number one, to help you out is that you can mentor someone just like you or who is in the same position as you, but just right behind where you are. Just, hey, I'm trying to get this book started, and you got your book almost 75% done, whereas this person is just trying to put pen to paper. Mentor someone. Basically, keep reminding them, hey, you can do it. You can get this going. It can happen. See, I'm 75% and you're just 2%. So if I can do it, you can do it. There's no better way to find inspiration for yourself than to see how what you have helped somebody else do to make you feel better about what you're doing. Number two is network with other writers. Network with other people who are in the business so you don't feel so alone. Writing is such a solitary hobby or a solitary thing to do. Getting out there and connecting and networking with other writers actually that will help you get inspired to do more in your life. I've been running Motown Writers Network since 2000, and I can tell you every second Saturday that we have met, even though I don't need to meet and be inspired, I love going and sitting around other writers and hearing their struggles and seeing how we can all help each other, because it makes me feel like, wow, I am not alone. I'm not crazy in the world. I do have those thoughts and doubts and stuff like that. I still do. And like I said, that's why you need to get away from other people who have the doubts and the negativity, because that does not help your own self. Writers are their worst critics. You are the worst critics of your work. So when I say you want to network and mentor someone, you want to inspire them to be better. You want to help them out in some kind of way. And I know you're saying, well, this is going to take more time. We meet every second Saturday at the main library for 2 hours. 2 hours to put in your busy schedule is not a lot of time where you can come out and help your writing project and help you become better at what you do. It's really not a lot of time, and we stick to our time. We start on time, we get off on time. So this Saturday, you have an opportunity to come out and network with us at the main library if you are in the Metro Detroit area, or hey, be in Chicago and just drive that four hours if that's where you are. But just to be around other writers, and if you can't come to us, then there are other groups. You can always find them on Meetup. You can find them on Facebook that meet weekly, monthly, annually. But like I say, get around other people who are actually going to inspire you and keep you going on your journey. That is so important that you do. So we're gonna go over a little bit, do a recap of everything we talked about. So our subject today was what stops you from writing, and I pointed out that it's time wasters, doubt, and inspiration. So we said number one, track your goals, set your goals. Number two, set your goals. Number three, set aside time just for research. Number four, double duty research. If you're looking at one thing, you already told yourself like what you want to be working on, and you're out there looking it up. You see other stuff, hey, make a file and put that in there to save for later, to be read for later. Use research time. Number five is use research time to brainstorm other ideas. And six, take other stuff that you have done and repurpose it. I think I didn't mention that at first, but yes, six, you can take other stuff, repurpose it to help you out on things that you need to do. We talked a lot about that last week. That's probably why I didn't mention it. We talked a lot about that last week, not in just in your writing, but even in your blogging or in other stuff that you want to do, your prose, your poetry. You can actually take other stuff and repurpose it for other things. So I talked a lot about repurposing articles and stuff on our last time, and you can go to check that out on YouTube. on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/SylviaHubbard1, or just type in Sylvia Hubbard and my YouTube channel just comes up. Number 7, make use of waiting rooms and other time wasters. As a single mom, I talked about, I'm um, always in waiting rooms. I'm always waiting for kids. I'm always waiting for somebody. So I have things around me that I use to save me time. Hey, Bajat Thomas. Okay, and keep a pen and paper with you at all times, or a tablet or a Kindle. That helps your time as well. Send yourself emails when you can't get it done right away. You can always send yourself reminders. You can always send yourself things that you're working on, notes that you're working on. You can always do that. Even from your text messages, you can, especially if you have a smartphone. If you, all of this is too consuming where you can't find the time and you can't track time that you're losing, take a break. I usually say take a brain break, 24 hours, or just take a nap, like my mom says, to kind of get yourself back. Take a shower, like Natasha mentioned when she come up with her ideas, and so then you can kind of say, okay, let me find out where I am, what I need to do, and what I need to go. So number 11 is eat right. Take supplements, because if you're sick, you can't write at all. So you need to make sure you're not just stuffing anything into your mouth. Number 12, come from the shower time. Right, that's what Natasha had said that too earlier. I said take a nap, and when you're stressed out, just take a nap, then go take a shower, and just bam, all your ideas will just come, and just have that notepad just ready for you. Right, juices, yeah, lots of juices. Yeah, so I said when try drinking smoothies instead of eating potato chips, and try having fruit around a lot more than having cookies and other things like that. So number 12, keep your writing flexible. Know that, like, even though, your best times to write, sometimes you can't do it. Understand that you can be flexible with that. Move it around. Don't just not do it, but move it around and be able to still do it that day. Be flexible with it. Balancing your workload. Once you start tracking your time, finding out where exactly what you want to put your time on in your writing, and how you can do that when it's your best time, you can literally learn how to balance your workload in order to make things work great for you in your writing time. Number 14 is learn when to say no. Learn when to have the power to just say, I can't do this. This is not what I want to do. I would rather be writing. Um, and number 15 is find time wasters. Find people, items, and places that you go that are literally time wasters that you really don't need to do. You could do it closer to work or closer to home, or try to, like, when I'm driving home from work, I literally try to make sure I hit everywhere I need to go, so once I get home I don't have to leave back out again. It's been times where I literally had, like, my son, like, if we had to go somewhere after work, he comes to me and, like, okay, so I can go drop you. We can go to there. You get dropped off at my job. We go where we need to go, and then by the time we get home, I don't have to go back out the house again, just to save time. Think of ways you can save time when you're doing stuff, especially throughout the day, which is why you should have that handy dandy journal to help you out. So, doubt, how to get rid of doubt, or what I like to call, other people like to call, writing blocks or things like that, which I don't believe in, but it's just writing doubt, how to get rid of it, which is the number one enemy for writers. Be aware of peer pressure, get away from negativity, and accept that sometimes you're going to fail. That way you don't spend a lot of time stressing about the fact that you failed. You can just say, hey, let's pick back up and let's keep it going. And the final thing, inspiration. How do you inspire yourself? And the best way to do it is inspire other people. And that's what I try to do. I try to inspire other people in order to give myself that little boost, that little keep it going, to make sure that I can keep it going for myself as long as I'm helping somebody else out. So I hope these have been awesome tips for you. I hope they have helped you out. If you're listening to the replay, go to my site, howtoebook.org, and insert your comment about this video. I will have other resources and tips and tricks maybe in the comment section or either in the post itself. So make sure you sign up for updates on the site so you know what's going on. Go comment on the post that I have put on howtoebook.org. Also, you can follow me at sylviahubbard.com, and if you want to know more about our writing group, check out motownwriters.com as well. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to actually go to sleep because I know that my boyfriend really wants me to go to sleep, so I have to go. He's my adult. So I have to go to sleep. So, no, night-night. So you guys, thank you for joining me. Make sure you share this out. Make sure you give me as many hearts as you possibly can, even if you go through the replay. Thank you guys so much. I will see you next week.